Congratulations, you have found a piece of land or a property which you believe is abandoned, and you are ready to adversely possess this property. Congratulations, I'm really proud of you for getting this far. But you're not 100% sure of whether it is abandoned. Because it might look abandoned, but it also might not be. And you don't want to deal with people down the line. You don't want to have to risk being kicked off this piece of land or being evicted from a property, and I get that. I do, which is why you are at this video, and today I'm going to show you what I did with my abandoned piece of land, so you can do the same. So, in regards to this piece of abandoned land, I found it purely by driving past it. I drove along here. This caught me out the corner of my eye. I thought, hey, what is this gate doing here? Why is it rusty? And what about this overgrown piece of land? You see, I wasn't 100% sure this piece of land was abandoned. And that's when I looked at the lock. See, locks are a really good identifier to see if something is abandoned. Ideally, you don't want a rusty lock on something you own, and if you find a lock extremely rusty, there's a very good chance that it has been abandoned. And lucky for me, this was the case. In future videos, I will be showing you how to perfectly document adverse possession, and that's what I'm doing here. I have been perfectly documenting this. Every time I come to this piece of land, everything I do on it, I've been documenting it, and I will show you the step-by-step process on how to successfully do that, and how to record it, and how to timestamp it, so you guys can have it for your records when it comes for you to claim the piece of land. Now, if you're wondering, how can you tell if a property or piece of land like this is completely abandoned? Well, let's take you over to the computer and we will go through the process that you go through online to work out if a property is abandoned. Now that we are back at home, I'm going to show you on Google Maps how you can see properties in the past. So you can kind of work out how long it's been abandoned, if it's within Google's timeline, as in, you know, when the streetcar was able to capture it. And then after that, I'm going to show you the government website where you can see who owns a property. So we're going to start here. So right here is the first abandoned property we saw today, as you can see right here. Now, if you go to see more dates, you can go all the way back on this property to 2014, where you can see that it was once an award-winning fish and chip shop called Papa's. Now, going forward in time, when you go to 2017, the sign's gone. That's interesting, that's a start. And then you move further along and it's under new management. How interesting. But then you go a little further along and suddenly it's changed name and it's Chip & Co. Well, okay, so it's under new management and now they've changed name. Go a little further along, 2020, November 2020, it was definitely abandoned at this point, and the property has been left ever since. As you can see, this is where we went past earlier, and it's just been left to decay. All this stuff it's still here. But how do we know if this building is actually abandoned? Well, so you want to go onto HM Land Registry, you want to search property ownership information, and then, oh my goodness, it's gone up in price. £7. It used to be £3. Awful. Anyways, let's go to the start now, and we can either search by postcode, but I don't know the postcode for this place, so we're going to search by map. Now on here, we get a map. And this is a very interesting map because when we zoom in, it shows us the property boundaries. So if I just work out where we were, so here it is, and if you can tell, you can see all these dotted lines going around properties and these straight lines. Now, these represent boundaries and borders. So, we want to select where our property is. Something interesting about this pub that has been abandoned is the different property boundaries. I don't know if you can tell, but the outside is one boundary, the inside's another. The grass bit, which looked abandoned, was another. This is peculiar, to be honest with you. So many property boundaries, property lines. So you select it and you get a nice blue dot. Make sure it's in the dot. Yes, it's in the radius. I'm not a robot. Click continue. There you go. The Brickmaker Arms, 68 School Brow, Warrington WA1 2TA. There we go. And look at this. We can see it was sold in 2012 on the 26th of November for £94,500 plus £17,010 VAT, which is interesting. Now, if you'd like to know more about this property, you can go and buy the details for it. But one interesting thing for this one specifically is it's a freehold. And you want freehold properties. You do not want to adverse possess a leasehold property. So, if you want this website, it is linked in the description below. Once you've purchased your title deed for £7, what you do next is you research. If it's a person's name, go find them. Check Facebook. Check Ancestry. Ancestry is a great tool that I use personally. It's not sponsored. I just do a lot of genealogy myself. And on Ancestry, you can see electoral rolls. You can see death certificates, birth certificates. So being able to locate an owner of the property that you're trying to adverse possess is a good idea. Now, I'm not telling you to contact them, because if you do, then it's not adverse possession. But what you want to know is the owner dead? Is the business dissolved? Does the owner now live in Portugal? You might find their Facebook. They might be 89 years old in a retirement home 200 miles away. You have absolutely no idea. But it's all beneficial to know. This is knowledge that you need to know. And once you have this knowledge, you'll be wondering, what do I do with this, and how can this knowledge strengthen my case? Well, I'll show you how to do that in upcoming videos. But the next video, we're going to be talking about signage and how you can perfectly protect your piece of abandoned property. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I really do hope you have enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with this series, and like this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comments below, because I would really like to know, as I'm going to be answering all of the questions in a Q&A episode once the whole series has been released. Adios, my mis amigos, and I shall see you guys all in a video in 2 days. Thursday. Goodbye. Tractor. 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 Cars, and tractor.